U.S. government is occupied by superstitious lunatics and has been for a very long time.
This is why. What's interesting is the CIA allegedly located the Ark of the Covenant. I think
this girl's in Congress. She did the bikini Trump things. What do the priests do with the ashes? They have to use it. They mix it with that one other thing, the plant, and then some water or clay, he said, and they just like sprinkle it on or just rub it on people to purify them so that they can be holy and rebuild the temple. Jack Stone thinks the Temple Institute is in on the deception too. So they're still just running with the lie that it's disqualified. Meanwhile, they're doing their stuff behind the scenes. I think you could be right.
The
remote viewed.
They remote viewed it. You can actually find that. You should actually pull it up. No, not in Ethiopia, but it was in a Middle Eastern country. They weren't able to locate the actual. I think the New York Post did an article on it where they actually have the handwritten notes on the Ark of the Covenant location, and they remote viewed it. You should ask them to pull it up. Yeah, I'm serious about it.
Did they go there and see if they were correct?
I don't know if they did. I don't know. This is like Indiana Jones.
What?
But
Decades-old CIA documents on Ark of the Covenant resurface amid classified group text spat. What?
Wait, like, yeah.
It was a group text argument that caused this stuff to be released?
No, pull up the New York Post one because they actually have the handwritten notes from the remote viewer that actually documents it.
Okay.
It should be, I think it's like the New York Post.
That's so funny.
Oh, there you go. Top one.
The LARP of the
This is wild because it actually goes into descriptions of angels too. And so actually, in Enoch, it talks about, well, if you scroll down, now you can probably click on the scribe because it'll show you all the documents from the actual declassified file.
Is she going fallen angels in Enoch now? Come on.
What year was this?
This happened recently. This was like a couple of months ago that this just kind of came all out.
Right, but what year was this project?
1988.
88.
Remote viewing.
Wow.
So scroll down.
So we got conspiracy kooks in Congress with Botox lips.
When 88 they found the Ark of the Covenant?
Allegedly they remote viewed it. We don't know if they followed up.
Who was president back then? Reagan?
Go down.
Bush?
Senior.
They remote viewed the Ark of the Covenant.
Scroll down and then you'll see that. So this is like
the rabbi at the Temple Institute, Chaim Richman, says. Rabbi Richmond says they have the menorah in a secret tunnel underneath the Temple Mount, and that they know where the Ark of the Covenant is too. There's a GoFundMe called Justice for Tikva. No way. Did you just create that? Oh, fundraiser not found. That's funny. Good one. The real Ark is at Mar-a-Lago. No, the replica. Yeah, the replica. They'll be like, we lied. It's not a replica. It's the real Ark. We gave it to Trump. Trump has the Ark of the Covenant in Mar-a-Lago. We lied about that too. That's actually the real one.
So they're going through in the notes. You have to read it, but you can scroll down. This is kind of.
So he's like drawing where it is.
The remote viewer. So you have like the different things that are describing it, and if you keep going, you'll see like a cherubim. Keep going.
It's like showing the peak of a building.
Wait, sorry, go up a little bit. So that's interesting because look into actual. So there's like a wheel text. If you look into Enoch's description of angels and Ezekiel too, I think that's kind of a tie. But go down more,
dude.
But yeah, you have like the actual.
We can't be ruled over. We can't have girls like this be our representatives that believe in Enoch, fallen angels, and remote viewing, and are basically OnlyFans girls in Congress.
Here, purpose of container. They should have like a cherubim drawing somewhere down here. Oh yeah, see, so that would be the seraphim. So it's interesting.
That would be the what?
The seraphim.
That's how it's opened.
Yeah. So basically, when they describe Ark, and so he's going through describing. So these are the hand notes for it, and then it actually says that it's in a Middle Eastern country. The remote viewer describes the clothing in which individuals are in the area. I feel like I'm describing like an Indian.
Oh my God! A remote viewer said he saw a bird. Amazing. He drew a little bird angel. Amazing. It's so magical.
A Jones movie, but this is actually from the CIA.
This image, scroll back to where what is that thing? Is that the corner of the box?
Of the covenant, yeah. He's describing.
Here's your kosher conspiracies from the Christian lady that takes photos with Netanyahu on Joe Rogan.
These are actually the handwritten notes on what was described by the remote viewer. And you have to go through the entire document, but yeah, that's what's described surrounding the Ark.
Do you know what they asked him to find?
Well, the Ark of the Covenant.
They
you can
asked
find it
him
in the
to
document.
go look for the Ark of the Covenant.
If you go higher up in the documents, it's over there.
Right, but if you ask me to go look for the Ark of the Covenant, like I know what I'm looking for, right?
Well, apparently these remote viewers.
I draw what I think it's.
She believes in interdimensional Khazarian machine elves too. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Like, show me that they fucking found it.
I don't know if they did, but they.
I don't know if they did either, but it's interesting, but it's not as interesting because you're saying, show me the Ark of the Covenant, right? So he's drawing what we all saw in Indiana Jones.
Or can you locate it? So the
what year was that? That was before Indiana Jones?
No, it'd have been in the same time period. Like,
when did Indiana Jones come out?
What
a great
the movie. 90s, right?
I don't know. I'm thinking.
And like the first two are the best. The new ones are
Raiders of
good.
the Lost Ark was the first one. That's the one. What year was that?
1981.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
there you go.
Precursor.
so that's 7 years earlier. Everybody saw that movie 100 times. You know what it looks like. You know what the Ark looks like. So if I tell you, go draw me the Ark, where's it at?
You think?
All we have is some scribbles on paper, unless they actually went there and found it.
Well, what's interesting, and I should probably ask Radcliffe, like,
taxing
Radcliffe, can you tell me if this
What
I
does it say,
ever look
Jamie?
into the Ark of the
What are you
Covenant?
saying, Jamie?
It says the mission is to access and describe the target identified by coordinate, and then there's coordinates. The tasking is to see mission statement. Training target is the Ark of the Covenant.
So they did say, go find us the Ark of the Covenant. And then this dude apparently said,
Exhibits the ability to
keep AOL to a minimum. What is that?
I don't know. I saw that on the paper earlier.
Have to be careful with editing, though. This does not seem to be a problem at this time. Just something to watch for. Attained excellence.
Indiana Jones, everyone's favorite archaeology documentary, right? Day of the
Sight
Jackal.
contact. Okay.
Definitely
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, it's weird that they're talking about it like it's a real talent, like someone can actually do it.
Just
Well-
about mosque domes.
Yeah.
You know, if the CIA thinks that remote viewing is real, it's probably real, man. Ark of the Covenant must be really important, man. If the CIA is looking for it, man, the Bible must be real. You know what I mean, man? You ever seen the Ark of the Covenant on weed, man? Joe Rogan going schizo, Christ conspiracy schizo mode.
Target is in a container. This container is in another container. Has another container inside of it. The target is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver. The target is similar in shape to AOL. So that's something of location, right? Is that what it means?
Area of location.
Yeah, that's it. Coffin, and is decorated with the seraphim. See sketch. This target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals present seemed to be Arabic. Well, wouldn't you want someone who could fucking decipher Arabic to do this?
We
Yeah.
don't know how far it went, and I definitely have questions, but this would not be the first time that a government would have looked.
She's like, hey, I'm going to get disclosure on this for everybody. Total transparency. We're going to get to the bottom of the remote viewing Ark of the Covenant. Yeah, no Epstein documents, but we're going to get you the Ark of the Covenant deets.
for something, especially because people theorize that the Ark of the Covenant had these abilities.
All the
as
kosher distraction conspiracies are going to go ape shit over this, and the red heifer shit. It's biblical, man. It's going to be so biblical. Bible's totally real, man. Everybody's satanic. Everything's satanic, man, and we just need Jesus, right? Joe Rogan? We need Jesus. Yeah, everybody needs to look at Wes Huff, man. He's totally based. Yo, Tucker Carlson in the Shroud of Turin, all totally real, says the Zionist author and used car salesman.
for weapon.
I know, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
the remote viewer is limited by his ability to understand the language. Stop. Scroll back up, please. There, right there. So
They use
it's
DMT
somewhere in the
remote
Middle East.
view,
Visuals of surrounding buildings indicated that the presence of mosque domes. Individuals in the area were clothed in virtually all white, had black hair and dark eyes. One figure I honed in on wore a mustache. The target is hidden underground, dark and wet, were all aspects of the location of the target. See, the only problem I ever have with these things is if these places are all controlled by terrorists and it's all, dictators and crazy people over there, if they found out that the Ark was there, they would fucking take it.
Well, I think there's this aspect of, if you look at it from a biblical perspective, no one would be able to access it anyways because it would be protected, right? That's what the Bible says.
Oh, you can't find it because it's protected by God. Actually, if you believe the Bible like I do, well, the Ark of the Covenant is protected from the terrorists by God. Okay, all right. This is who's in Congress. This is who's running our country. Dude, clown show, clown world. What the WTF? We got this and AOC. This is the future of politics in America.
It says here too. Cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct.
Oh, Jesus. Once the time to open the container, the mechanisms of lock systems will be found to be fairly simple. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors.
Well, what's interesting is, remember, in the Bible always talks about how there had to be like a...
Through the use
Okay.
of a power unknown to us.
They melt you. Remember?
Bro, yeah. in
Well,
the
so
movies.
they had to, go through this special process of being considered, holy, basically, to access it. So all that to say that there's something out there, right? I think that obviously God's real, and this job
Obviously, Yahweh's real. Obviously, the Bible's real. Obviously, he chose the Jews. Obviously.
has definitely, put me in a position to where we're able to help get other truths out there, if you will. And
You need to get the truth of that thing out there. They need to find out like
Dear
that.
Director
Like, you
Radcliffe,
know
has
how
you
much
looked
the
at the Ark of
world
the
would
Covenant?
change if you found the actual Ark of the Covenant and you could explain a lot of things. Like, look, if these Ethiopians have it, which Graham Hancock believes...
Allegedly they do.
Yeah, Graham Hancock believes that they do. And he said that these...
No, Donald Trump has it. Laura Loomer has it. I think if anything, if anybody has it, if it's not lost or at the bottom of the ocean or never existed, then I would say the Jews have it in a secret spot. That in the menorah and the temple treasures, maybe in a secret cave or a secret room underground somewhere. If anything, that's what I think it would be. The Ark was made by a supporter, unveiled at a private dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Loomer was one of the ones invited, and it was attendance at the dinner which was very focused on the topics of spiritual warfare and Judaism. And guess who's engaging in the spiritual warfare? Top podcaster and influencers like Alex Jones and Joe Rogan and Tucker Carlson.
Guardians, they all get cataracts, they die of like radiation poisoning.
I mean, there's something to be said about the Ethiopian people as a whole, and going back to the Ethiopian Orthodox text. Actually, when I first launched this task force, I actually went and I met with a Ethiopian Orthodox pastor, if you will, just to kind of see and explain and ask questions that I can't exactly go to, the Smithsonian and ask. And his response was interesting, especially from their perspective. You have a lot of this aspect of, I think, religion that tries to be doom and gloom. And then in the Ethiopian perspective, he's like, first of all, your timeline's wrong. And I'm like, what do you mean your timeline? He's like, well, the biblical text in modern day Christianity, it's a little bit off, right? So we use a completely separate, I think it's 364 days out of the year. And he's explaining all of it. And he's like, but even then, so, we don't have the perspective of, we are in the end of days, etc. But, the way his perspective just seemed very optimistic as opposed to pessimistic and filtering and controlling information. All that
He's probably not online.
He's off X. He's off X.
He's off X. He's off TikTok.
Yeah, he's not subjecting himself.
The New York Post thing about that says that the viewer was identified with the target and didn't know what it was, and it ended up being the Ark of the Covenant after all the explanation they found.
Oh, well, that's much different.
Yeah.
So that whole thing at the end of it was what they were saying it was when they wrote it on that
If you look
report.
at it's just a bunch of words they're putting together, and
Got it.
hearing Pal Putoff talk about it. Like,
Well, that's way more interesting. If he didn't know what he was looking for and he found something that looked like the Ark of the Covenant, that's pretty crazy.
Joe's getting to the bottom. Don't worry, Goy. Joe's getting to the bottom of it. All your biblical conspiracies coming true. Here's the head of the Temple Institute saying that they know the location of the Ark of the Covenant.
I asked you this morning about the Ark of the Covenant. Yesterday, when I was at the Temple Institute, it was mentioned that in 2 Chronicles 35, 1, 2, and 3, King Josiah gave an order to do with the Ark. Would you address that a minute? Because you said that it's been known that the Ark never left Jerusalem, that it is still under the Temple Mount. Please talk about that.
There's a popular movie about the Ark, and it was referred to as the Lost Ark.
Remember, I think it was in Trump's term, David Friedman, his ambassador to Israel, there was a video of him. They were all down there underneath in these tunnels around the Temple Mount, and they're like, we found some new discovery, and they had a big hammer, and they hammered through the wall. Remember that? It's going to be something like that. They're going to hammer through another wall, and they're like, we found it. We found the temple treasures. And guess what? This is interesting. In the Dead Sea Scrolls, they found basically a treasure map. In the copper scroll, in 1952, they found a copper scroll made out of copper. And it's a list of 60-plus locations where enormous amounts of gold, silver, and other valuables are supposedly hidden in this Dead Sea copper scroll. Isn't that interesting?
Known that the Ark never left Jerusalem, that it is still under the Temple Mount. Please talk about that.
There's a popular movie about the Ark, and it was referred to as the Lost Ark. And
remember all the talk about getting the temple treasures back? Maybe the Vatican's going to have another piece of the puzzle, of the treasure puzzle. The Jews are like in an ancient video game running around like Zelda, Link and Zelda, having to collect all the treasures so he can go to feet.
Popular movie about the Ark, and it was referred to as the Lost Ark. And there are many, many theories that have been written by different people, different books about whatever happened to the Ark. But the truth is I was
Spielberg's mother meeting with Chabad Rebbe. Hold on, I'll pull that up in a second. But Spielberg directed Raiders of the Lost Ark, and his mom went and met the Rebbe.
So as the Lost Ark. And there are many, many theories that have been written by different people, different books about whatever happened to the Ark. But the truth is, as I was talking with the pastor this morning, the expression "lost ark" is not at all accurate for the Jewish historically, because we never said that it was lost. Although it was hidden very well. There have always been those that have known exactly where it is. And historically, when King Solomon, who after all, as the Bible tells us, was the wisest of all men, when he oversaw the construction of the first temple, knowing with prophetic enlightenment that eventually it would be destroyed, he oversaw underneath the Temple Mount complex the construction of a very vast system of all sorts of corridors and mazes and chambers. And one of these chambers was built especially...
This is going to be Adam King's new nemesis, fighting over the red heifer ashes, the leader of the Temple Institute.
Actually, for...
Oh, Adam said he knows him, too. He said he's known him for a long time.
The time when it would be necessary to hide the Ark of the Covenant, as well as some other items that I mentioned this morning. And we know exactly where that chamber is, and we believe that when the time comes, those items will be restored to the newly built temple.
When the time comes. A lot of Ark Indiana Jones references. Here is Steven Spielberg's mother meeting with the Rebbe.
California. I own the Milky Way restaurant with my dear. I'm Leah Adler from California. I own the Milky Way restaurant with my dear husband. And I would like to have brachas for all my children and grandchildren and my husband.
Have the name marked?
Yes, I'm Steven Spielberg's mother also. Steven Spielberg, the famous film director, is my son.
Your son?
Yes.
You have his name also here?
Yes. And it's all here.
Yeah. And I have a good news.
Good job on the Holocaust.
And to go from strength to strength in private affairs, and strength from strength to strength about spreading Yiddishkeit in good mood with much success.
So, small world there, right? Little Ark, Spielberg, Chabad connection. Okay. 36 years old, Anna Paulina Luna. I think we got another clip, too. Interdimensional beings to missing books of the Bible. Let's hear this clip.
What specifically are you saying? Like, what happened?
To I guess, break it down in simple terms is that I think that some of the tech that things have
energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they...
Joe Rogan's like, you're speaking my language. All right, we got you're based in red pilled. You're interdimensional vampire pilled in Congress. Oh my gosh. The Great Awakening is here. This is such a joke, man. Yeah, they're like demonic. It's spiritual. It's demons everywhere, actually, man. The Bible's totally real because demons are really running everything. She's pretty and stupid. The perfect fit to be a congresswoman.
Energy things have.
Energy things? What do you mean?
Well, they call them interdimensional beings. I think that they can actually operate through the time spaces that we currently have. And that's not something that I came up with on my own. That's based on stuff that we've seen. That's based on information that we've been told. And then also, too, I think that there's this historical aspect of, this gets into the deeper theories and concepts of religion and I think the history that we currently know and that kind of spins off.
Dude, she's going total David Icke mode. Is she going to mention reptilians and Nephilim next?
Into another topic of, you have the modern day Bible, you have this aspect of Bibles or books of the Bible that have been removed that explain and kind of touch on these topics. And I think that we're in a time and age where you have such a vast amount of information that we have access to via social media, via the internet. And so it's really changing the way that we understand, the origins of life and the spiritual reality that we know.
When you say interdimensional beings, that they know that these are interdimensional beings, how do they know that?
The Bible.
Based on testimony would be based on witnesses that have come forward. But what I can tell you
the
is
witnesses just were told.
Yeah, you can trust testimony of a whole lot of things, right?
That they were
that they've seen things. And what I can tell you without getting into classified conversations is that there have been incidences that I believe where very credible people have reported that there have been movement outside of time and space.
Oh, that's very vague.
Yeah,
I read about it.
Look, have I seen a portal open?
Joe Rogan's thinking like we're so cooked right now. This woman's in Congress. We are cooked.
Have I seen a spaceship? Personally, no. Have I seen evidence of this? Yes. Have I seen photo documentation of aircraft that I believe were not made by mankind? Yes. Is there historical significance to this? Yes. Is there multiple events that go back to, I would argue, maybe even before the time of Christ that have documented this in text? Yes. So do I believe that the government has access to certain technology? Yes, to an extent. And I believe that
She's running with the line that the Israeli space guy said. Israeli space Trump galactic. She's running with the demon space hoax. Israel's former space security chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it. A galactic federation has been waiting for humans to reach a stage where we will understand what space and spaceships are, Heifer Ashes said. This is such red meat. This is such dog whistling to these conspiracy kooks.
certain contractors potentially have back engineered this tech. I think that that's what can explain the advancements that we're seeing. But I also believe that this is a dangerous level of hidden information from the American people, because if you have an aspect of the federal government, which I can tell you, I, with two other members of Congress, were...
This is who Trump appointed in charge of getting to the bottom of the JFK documents. Isn't that reassuring that we got the full truth there?
denied access to information at Eglin Air Force Base pertaining to whistleblowers because of the fact, and we can get into that story and what happened at Eglin in a second, but we were denied access and told that we don't have security clearance or the read-in authority on a special access program. That's a problem, because I'm supposed to represent and be an investigative body, and you have then people who are unelected that are operating basically in secrecy, and that's a problem.
Oh my God, it's a problem that you're in Congress talking about this on Joe Rogan.
Talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. Well, some of them are written by prophets, and then, but I mean, Enoch is apparently supposed to predate even the time of Genesis and talk.
The nuttiest one is Ezekiel.
I'm telling you, Enoch is even crazier than Ezekiel.
Like, explain the nuttiness of the...
They're both mystical ascension proto-Kabbalah text. They're nutty, man. These are Jewish visionary mystical texts.
Book of Enoch to people.
Well, it's okay. So if you read it, it talks about the fall of angels, thus creating real...
It's not written before Genesis. It's expanding fan fictioning on Genesis and the Nephilim that it talks about there. It's creating more of a deeper lore in that. It's after Genesis. Cut the bullshit.
The precursor of civilization that led to the first flood. I think that when you even go into potentially the technology that was given to mankind by these angels, it talks about the hidden beliefs and theories in astronomy, etc. Metalworking is all of it. But it really does explain, you know, you were talking about earlier how you have a lot of these religions around the world that kind of say the same thing. This is kind of the OG text that leads to those stories that we're hearing from many religions around the world.
Now she's probably taking the bad translations of Zechariah Stitchin and the Anunnaki and saying that Enoch and Anunnaki are the same thing. This is just such conspiracy goy slop. Conspiratainment, kosher, goy slop type of theories. All based on the foundation that the Bible's real, the real conspiracy, that the real it's all legitimizing the actual conspiracy and deception, the Bible.
To talk about angels mixing with mankind and then seeding a super essentially race of humans that essentially were responsible for basically damning mankind to the flood. I mean, you hear about stuff in Greek and Roman mythology, people who had these super crazy powers, and you talk about it out loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then
I read about it in a book.
Sounds crazy, but the old Jewish book said so I believe it. Kosher goy slop, eat it up. Read about it in a book. Sounds crazy, but the Jews wrote it, so it must be real.
Loud and it sounds crazy, but that's what the book says. And then the fact that it was taken out and then it's poo-pooed, yet you have one of the oldest religions in the world via the Ethiopians that actually still have it. You have, you know, the Catholic Church that has books that are missing out of the King James Version. I'm just saying that, you know, when you read it, you should read it and decide for yourself. Don't listen to what I'm saying. Don't listen.
If the Catholic Church has apocryphal texts that are missing out of the King James Version, then they have them and they're not hidden. Why are they so stupid? Stupid Christ Gollum.
What you're saying, but truly give it a chance and see what you have to say. And then, you know, you're going back to this whole concept of if you have this information pertaining to UAPs, whatever they might be, the origins. I mean, if you have a understanding of what Enoch was talking about, kind of makes sense.
You know, the really old stuff is very strange.
The Orthodox, I'm telling you, the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible, I actually had a staffer that went to Ethiopia. She was on a church trip, and she actually brought me back a copy, and she's like, you can translate it via Google Translation, so kudos to modern day technology. So I have it in my office.
Kudos.
And actually, when I did my swearing in, I actually did my swearing in on the Ethiopian Orthodox Bible.
Wow.
It's cool. It's direct translation.
That's kind of crazy.
You mean the Black
this is
Bible?
Nuts.
Also known as the Black Bible, the original Black Christian Bible. Joe Rogan's like, well, so interesting. Tell me more about this Jewish bullshit. Oh, but we're very cool.
Ethiopian Orthodox Bible.
Wow.
It's cool. It's direct translation.
That's kind of crazy. This is nuts.
I think we're probably going to be responsible for like the Book of Enoch sales probably increasing on Amazon.
Well, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it. I need to read it now.
You'll trip out if you read Enoch and then follow.
You'll trip out, man. Read the Book of Enoch, man. You'll totally trip out, bro. Here, I'll read you a little Book of Enoch. In the Book of Enoch, what we should be talking about, the pre-Christian Jewish text of the Book of Enoch, shows you the role of the Son of Man that was further developed into the mythical character of Jesus, is connected to the light. He is the Son of Man is the light of the Gentiles, meaning it connects them to the servant of Isaiah. So we get the pre-Christian already connecting the suffering servant to the Son of Man of Daniel. All who dwell on earth shall fall down and worship before him. And for this reason, he has been hidden, chosen, and hidden before him before the creation of the world, and revealed him to the holy and the righteous. And the first Jewish Christians knew of this text, and then further developed the story, the Midrash, connecting the Son of Man to the servant, to the branch and the servant of Isaiah, to the son of Psalm 2, to the figure in the Wisdom of Solomon, to the messianic figure described in the Psalms of Solomon, which connects into the figure in Psalms 22 that's pierced. This is what this is what all of these conspiracy kooks, they always want to talk about fallen angels and kooky shit. Meanwhile, Enoch is one of the many smoking guns that shows that Jesus is not real and was invented to have all of the earth to bow down and worship before him. That's the actual conspiracy here. The Son of Man shall raise up the kings and the mighty from their seats and the strong from their thrones, and he shall put down the kings from their thrones. Where's the other best line? The spirit of righteousness was poured out upon him, and the word of his mouth slays all the sinners. The theme of the ruling with the rod of his mouth, like we find in Dead Sea Scrolls and in Psalm 2, and ruling without an army, like in Psalms of Solomon, with the teachings. All the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who hold the earth, they shall see and recognize how he, the Son of Man, sits on the throne of glory. And they shall be terrified, and they shall be downcast, and pain shall seize them when they see that Son of Man sitting on the throne of his glory. All the kings and the mighty and the exalted and those who rule the earth shall fall down before him on their faces and worship and set their hope upon that Son of Man. The New Testament cites that same verse in Isaiah 42, where it talks about the servant who's the light unto the nations, connected here with the Son of Man, all of the world worshiping this figure. Okay? That's the real smoking gun and conspiracy of Enoch. But the Christians only want to talk about this kooky fallen angel shit.
Of mankind and the angels with, and this is Christian theology, right? So like angels came down, rebelled against God, interbred with humankind. That would be, I think, a good starting point for what potentially the Anunnaki were.
See, told you she was connecting it to the Anunnaki.